What's going on, y'all? Psych Perspectives, giofvcks. And we on healing and counseling and therapy. So next up, I just want to talk about again how with narcissistic households, you'll notice toxic, dysfunctional households, abusive households, you will notice everybody has this act that we have to put on for the general public, and then we have a totally different reality or act or persona that we put on once we're behind closed doors at home. And then we also, again, want to believe the act that we're putting on. So like I noticed with my family, let's act like we really are close-knit. Let's act like we really have it together. We're loving. But it gets to the point where you're putting on this act 24/7 that you're even trying to believe the act yourself. Yet, once you get home, behind closed doors and the confinement of the household, and it's just you and that person, because it doesn't have to be a family member, it could be your significant other, it could be the colleagues you're working with, what's up. You get around them, and that facade strictly falls off, goes away, and they go right back to who they really are, and it is what it is. And I don't have time for it no more. Ain't no going home for the holidays, even after coronavirus, even before coronavirus. And I realized that this is the first year for me where I'm like, I'm not faking the funk anymore. I'm not doing it. Tired. I've spent my entire life living a lie. I ain't doing it no more. I'm not doing it no more. Yeah, it hurts. It hurts because it's like I sit back, and I know a lot of people can relate to this. You sit back and you look at other people and how they are with their families. And people aren't perfect. Nobody's perfect. But holy shit, that narcissistic shit, that is all the way in left fucking field. That dysfunctional, toxic shit, and ain't never no corrections, no improvements. That shit is on left field. Cannot do it no more. And I refuse. And then you wonder why, again, going back to those of us that grew up in these households, you end up a lot of us are gonna have to spend years unlearning toxicity and learning functional, healthy, functioning, healthy, free love with boundaries. Because again, I'm so used to being belittled, name called, disrespected. That's all I grew up in, So, I always have had a low self-esteem and struggled with it. I'm just now 2 years later, after 2 years of this ongoing self-care, self-healing journey, getting to, damn, stand up for yourself and speak up for yourself. And you have to do that. You have to do that inner work. But again, I should have had that when I was a child. But how was I going to have that when I'm getting name called and belittled by the people that's supposed to be raising me? And a lot of us can relate to that. And that's the problem. They basically are teaching you that love comes with abuse. That's what I learned. I'm supposed to accept being treated any old way because that's what love is. And that's what I learned growing up in my family. I'm supposed to accept mediocrity, less than, shit not being reciprocated, people abandoning you and disowning you constantly throughout your life, never being validated. So that's why I'm on a very intentional self-care journey. Intentional. I'm about to just really dig deep and work. Dig deep in there. Because once this shit is getting back in the gym and going to the gym like I was, working out like I was, I'm about to really dig deep. And that's what it is. Again, a lot of times you have to dig deep, and a lot of y'all are, I'm not gonna say are, because I'm talking about y'all like I'm the parent and like I'm not with you. A lot of us, let's say it this way, a lot of us, including myself, a lot of us are not willing to do the inner work. And it's like you're constantly complaining about wanting change and wanting difference. Like, again, people, especially with the narcissism, I keep running into narcissistic people. I keep running into narcissistic partners. I keep running into, whatever, toxic people. But you're not doing the inner work where you're able to spot that shit out and to avoid running into them. Because see, me, I'm used to the breadcrumbing, right? Because that's how my mom did me. She was essentially, my mom was in and out of my life. My father was a complete deadbeat. And I'm used to the breadcrumbing because she would sit up and tell me, I'm coming home. I'm gonna see you soon, I promise you. And when I get home, we gonna do this. We gonna go to get pizza. I'm gonna cook this for you. We gonna watch movies. You know what? We're gonna get a house together, and when I get the house, you're gonna have your own room. This is the type of shit that I have always grew up dealing with. So I'm used to that. I'm used to the breadcrumbing, and being led on, and shit never being reciprocated. And I grew up thinking that that's normal. You gotta keep seeking for that love. That's what I grew up. And I'm now just realizing, after a year and a half in therapy and counseling, and then 2 years of the self-care journey, I'm now at that stage where, no, it's not normal. You breadcrumb me if you want to. I seen this on Twitter, and this is I fully support it. I'm paraphrasing, but I saw it on Twitter, and it's the truth. And it's basically what my therapist says, in many ways. Greet inconsistency with your unavailability. And that's how we do that. Stop chasing, because again, those of us that grew up in these type of households, you're constantly chasing after your parents' love, or that person's love, that family member's love, and they treat you any old fucking way. They're inconsistent, they're disrespectful, they breadcrumb you, they belittle you, they don't really care, they don't have the capabilities of caring, it seems like. Whether that's the mental health, them being emotionally unavailable, what they went through, whatever it may be. The point is, stop chasing after people that don't want you. Because you're the one that's ultimately going to be hurt at the end. And then people who are like this as parents, you're training your kids, you're raising your kids to be in toxic, abusive relationships. You're setting them up for that. They're preparing you for that. You're preparing your kids to be taken advantage of. It is what it is. That's what you're doing. Just want to throw that out there. So, greet inconsistency with unavailability. Okay? And that's the beautiful thing. Because a lot of us end up going for these narcissistic relationships as adults. Because you're mirroring what you went through with your parents, with your parental figures, with your family. We are products of our environment. Anyways, next video will be up. Y'all be safe and sound.